I have lost my way. After the passing of my dog, nothing brings me joy anymore. Me personally, I have never experienced grief before. All of the deaths in my family were when I was younger, meaning I guess I didn't really understand death at the time, but I still don't think I do. Losing her was absolutely devastating. She is woven into me. Having her from 6 years old to 19 years old, she saw me through the most formative years of my life. In a way, her passing was almost like saying goodbye to childhood, to innocence. In French, they do not say I miss you. Instead, they say tu me manques. I hope I said that right. Meaning, you are missing for me. I feel this better encapsulates how I'm feeling and how I still feel every single day. After her passing, I couldn't even think of seeing the positives in life. Any task was hard. So soon, my hobbies were ripped away from me. I don't journal anymore, I don't read anymore, I don't play guitar, I don't work out, and many more things that I don't do anymore. Things that once defined me were instead replaced by the simple task of doom scrolling. In need of dopamine, what better way than to get it from a source outside of me? However, it was the only thing I could bear to do. But as time went by, so many things changed. Feeling the absence of my dog, I wanted nothing to change. I still have not washed her blanket that now resides by my head every single night, and I do not plan to. Call me dirty, call me messy, whatever. She is grieving, she's in pain, okay, I don't care. But I have always loved animals, and they have always found a way of creeping into my heart. So, when I had the opportunity to dog sit another dog, Raider, I said yes. Raider was a senior dog. She loved food just like my dog Lexi. She allowed me to heal and process Lexi's passing while opening up parts of me that I wasn't still sure existed. And thus, this made me realize, oh, maybe I would want another dog. I was not trying to replace Lexi, in fact. I think that would simply be impossible, and even if I did find a dog exactly like her, I'm not sure I would like it. Using my intuition, I found the dog. I'm not even sure how we got her. She was very popular, and also puppies are just popular in general, so I guess we can call it fate. Except she had a twin brother. Initially, my family was set on getting a girl dog, just because that's what we've had all our life, but when someone backed out on adopting the boy dog, we knew we couldn't say no. So we ended up with 2 5-month-old puppies. Now, did I ever think I would do this? No. They definitely do test me, and it can be frustrating sometimes, but I believe that Lexi sent me these 2 dogs to give me twice the amount of love. Never did I think I would end up with 2 dogs so soon, but life happens, and when you know, you know. Lexi's passing really set into perspective for me how fast life changes. I've recently started a new job that came out of the blue, and with each day that is passing, I find myself more willing to get back to myself again. Not because I am moving on, but because I see her every day. She appears in my dreams. I carry her on my wrist, where her name is engraved on my bracelet. I see her in many places. It is proof that she is still real. I may not be fully healed, but I know I deserve to have joy and happiness in my life. And that comes from things like journaling, playing guitar, hanging out with friends, and many more things. So, all that to say is if you're feeling like you have lost yourself or momentarily taken a break from your life, know that it is okay and necessary. There's no need to knock yourself down when the pain is already heavy. Sit in that feeling and feel it fully. And there will come a day when you are ready for change, ready to come back to yourself. You were always there, waiting for you when you were ready. So don't feel rushed. Every day is a small stepping stone, but healing is not linear. So allow yourself grace on this journey. Now, I do not know what my life will look like in a year, but what I do know is that life is meant to be lived. So that is what I leave you with. That is what I leave you to ponder with. Sit on that, think on that, and feel it. Gia Margret in her book, The Artist's Way, states that in order to retrieve your creativity, you need to find it. Now, she does this by introducing the morning pages, which are 3 pages of stream of consciousness writing in the morning, and you don't look at them after that, really ever. She does allow you to read them back, I think, in the weeks after, but you're really not supposed to read them. She recommends that people do this because morning pages are often negative with self-pity, babyish, and angry statements. Now, this is because the morning pages helps get rid of the censor. Now, the censor is an internal and an external critic. So, basically our internal monologue saying, like, oh, like, you think you can do this? Oh, like, you're so bad at this. All that stuff. That we form our beliefs on ourselves and also our beliefs that we take from other people. So, now, the morning pages teaches our censor to get out of the way in order for the artist's brain to play. Now, she does this by saying that the censor is the logic brain, our brain that forms logic, like, oh, I need to do this and this, this. But the artist's brain is what helps us create our creativity and helps us get in that flow state. Now, she mentions the morning pages as a primary tool of creative recovery because they help get rid of the censor and get out of a person's way. I equate creativity to getting back to myself. And I believe that living in authenticity is our highest vibration. So I utilize these tools that Julia Cameron mentions in The Artist's Way to get out of my own way and just let my artist brain do what it needs to do and lead me where it needs to be led. I want to connect this with the law of attraction because I saw this article, I saw TikTok, but it was this guy speaking who's like a spiritual teacher and everything, and he was talking about how many believe that you have to rise to a certain vibration in order to attract something that you want, and you need to be the same vibration as that. While that's not wrong, it can be misleading. When you are taught that you have to learn to be the vibration of something, it actually means that you just have to get out of your own way. The idea is to let go of any blocking beliefs that are blocking your core frequency or your sensor from being joyful and fulfilled. So I say that to say, get out of your own way. A way to do this is the morning pages. Now, me personally, I have done the morning pages. I did the Artist Week. I completed it. I think I started it February last year. And then after that, I continued doing the morning pages. But then after a while, I just stopped because I thought they weren't doing anything for me anymore. But boy, was I wrong. Instead, I felt like I was just living my life with a lot more anxiety when I was not doing them. I think this is because it helps get all my worries out in the morning. But if I'm not doing them, I just think about them throughout the day. So this is me recommending the morning pages, and you can read more about it in The Artist's Way. She goes more into depth about it, but I think this will change your life. I literally don't shut up about this book. I'm always talking about this book because it changed my life, and I'm ready for it to change me again because I'm doing it again. Hello. When I said I was getting back to myself, I was serious, okay? She also talks about blurts in the first week of The Artist's Way, and taking our blurts and turning it into a positive affirmation. So, like, say if you're a writer, a blurt could be, oh, you're not a good enough writer, no one's gonna read your writing. You can turn that into, I am a capable writer who inspires people. I think a lot of attracting what we want comes from regulating our nervous system and allowing our nervous system to hold the things that we want to hold. In order to do that, you have to sit with the negativity and turn it into something positive. That is my tip. That's what I'm doing. And hopefully it brings me opportunities. I'm really just trying to get out there this year and see where it leads me, and saying yes to things, saying yes to opportunities, whether it's small, big, whatever. You never know where something can lead you. Then coming back to oneself, we need to learn to get out of one's way, because I think that's where I lost myself. I'm in the way of me, finding what I actually want and attracting what I actually want. But don't you worry, I am back doing the morning pages.
Now, it's not wrong that you have to be of a certain frequency to attract certain things. But the law of attraction, as it has often been explained on Earth, is a little bit misleading because people are taught to think they have to learn to be the vibration of something. You don't have to learn to be the vibration of what you need in life. Your core frequency is radiating from you all the time and automatically attracting all the things you truly need. The idea is to get out of its way, to let go of the belief systems that are blocking your core frequency from bringing you what you need in life. That is the exercise that needs to happen. It's not about having to learn to attract. It's about having to learn to let go and let in.
So to conclude my thinking for this video, I wanted to talk about the year of the horse and snake, because it's recently been Chinese New Year, which means that it is the year of the horse. And on February 17th, I was on my way to school and I saw a horse on the back of a truck, but it had wings, and I felt very powerful. It felt like a synchronicity, and I know, like, it had to have been something, like, I can't explain it. But last year was the year of the snake, which is all about shedding. And I really feel like that I deconstructed, like, my old belief systems. I really felt like I was in a bubble, and now I don't have that delusion anymore. Now I kind of feel like I'm not in the place where I was, but I'm not where I'm going to be, if that makes sense. With the year of the horse, I really just hope brings me clarity, brings me towards my dreams, because that's what it's all about, having the audacity. Like that with what you will. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the thoughts and the tools I recommended. See you next week.